Hey, so it is Monday and I'm doing movie reviews on Mondays, and my movie review for you today, while it's fresh in my head, I'm just gonna film it now. While it's fresh in my head, I'll post it next Monday, which will be the Monday you're watching it. But yeah, it is The Tall Man. So The Tall Man stars Jessica Biel, and I've seen it on the website that I stream movies off of. I've seen it so many times. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, and I just never do. And I've even watched the trailer on YouTube, and I couldn't bring myself to watch it. Then we were watching Netflix the other day, and I was like, oh, can I pick a movie now? And so I picked The Tall Man, because I was like, you know what, let's just get this over with. So we're watching it, and most horror movies are so predictable. You know what's happening, you know what's going on, all this stuff. This one was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, you're questioning it from like the beginning. You're like, what the crap's going on? And I'm like, I am so lost. Like, it's just a story about this girl. Her husband passed away. He was a doctor, well respected in the town, everything like that. And then she kind of is the doctor in town, and she's not as good as her husband, but they all, you know, just accept it or whatever. And there's kind of like an urban legend in there. Well, not urban legend. I guess it's just like the town story or whatever. All their kids keep going missing. And they say it's the tall man. The tall man comes and takes their children, and God knows what to them, right? Then this girl, Jessica Biel's character, goes home to her son. And then he's, you know, he's really cute. She gets drunk with her friend, and then next thing you know, she's waking up because she hears something weird's going on. She goes downstairs. Her friend is tied up, bloody mouth. And then she's like, what the hell? So she goes to find her kid, who's not in his room. She goes back downstairs to her friend, and then her friend's looking, and she turns around, and there's the tall man. And he takes her kid. And we're like, holy crap. And she chases him. She gets in the vehicle, a dog attacks her, and like, I got really scared because I don't like horror movies, especially with animals involved, because the animals pretty much always die, and I don't like watching that. I don't like that. I don't think it's necessary in a movie. But it didn't show anything, and you know, I could just tell myself the dog was okay. It wasn't bad or anything. But so the dog's attacking her. She ends up running the vehicle, like, so it flips and stuff, and the kid gets out, and he's on top, and then Tall Man gets up. Tall Man's like, come on. And then the kid's like, okay, I wanted to come. And we're like, what the crap? Like, the Tall Man's supposed to be bad. Like, why is this going on? And then she goes, and she's chasing after him, and then she's in the middle of the road, and the cop comes and picks her up, takes her to a diner, and then all these people in the diner who are from the town, they're all like acting weird, and it's like, what's going on? They're like, don't let her like clue in, and I'm like, this reminds me of Supernatural, like when they like had sacrifices for pagan gods, and I was like, maybe they're sacrificing the children, and everyone knows about it except her, and like, because that's the way they're acting, is like something messed is going on. And then we're like, what the hell? And she sees a shrine with her son's, like, that's why I guess the pagan thing, because she saw a shrine in the lady's room with her son, and I'm like, holy crap. They're all like, go looking for her, and they're like, grab your torch and pitchforks, pretty much. Like, they're like mobbing after her, right? I'm like, what the hell? Like, why are they after her? Like, what did she do wrong? And then the cop shows up to the tall man's house, and she's in the backseat the whole time, so she gets out, which doesn't make sense because you can't get out of the backseat of a cop car, but anyway, maybe it's a small town thing. So she gets out of there, and then she finally gets into the person's house, and she's chasing after, like, trying to find her kid, and then someone knocks her out, and it's like this lady, and then she's like, she calls her son, like the kid over, she's like, this is my son, and she's like, you took him, you brainwashed him, he thought it was, you know, I finally got him to remember it was me. Apparently she's the one, she's not the tall man, she just took her son back. And we're like, well, why did she have her son in the first place? And we're so confused. And then the kid runs away, like, throughout the house, and he runs into this other girl who's in the show, and she doesn't talk, and she has, like, her family's not that great. Her mom's kind of, like, has abusive boyfriend, but she won't get rid of him, and just all that crap, and she doesn't talk. And she tells the kid to come with her. She's like, it's okay, it's okay. And then Jessica Biel comes around the corner, and she's like, come here. And, like, the girl's looking at her, like, and then she pushes this little boy towards her, and then they all run away. And I'm like, okay, so she's on her team? Like, what's going on? And they all run away, and they go back to their house, and there's cops coming to the house, and she goes and puts the little boy downstairs, and then she comes back out onto the porch, and then the little girl's like writing on her book. She's like, tell the tall man to come get me. She's like, I don't want to be here, tell him to come get me. She's like, she clued into what was going on, and she said, tell the tall man to get me. And at that point I was like, the tall man is her husband, because you know she's behind it. So I was like, the tall man is her husband. So she's like, you need to be serious about this, or I will send the tall man to get you, and he will do horrible things to you. She's like, you need to be ready for this. She's like, I gave him your name and where you live, and we'll see if it happens. And so that all goes on, and then the cops come, they arrest her, she's in jail, and she's like, they're asking her all these questions. They're like, are the children dead? She's like, yep, the children are dead. And they're all like all through the forest and stuff, so they go looking for the children, and then they can't find any of them, and then it goes back to her, and then they get the other, like the mom of the little boy, to come and see, and she's like, where's my son? And she's like, are the children really dead? She's like, yeah. She's like, I can't tell you anything you don't want to hear, like, they're dead, and they're everywhere. And I thought she was doing a good thing, because the mine shut down, all the families were poor, they had nothing to offer the kids. She just wanted to offer the kids the best thing ever. And there was a tunnel under her house, and they thought they would all been under there, and they weren't. The little girl is like out in the yard because her mom was fighting with the boyfriend. She gets involved, he throws her down, she's like, you never touch her, blah blah, and then they start laughing because she like stood up, and they thought it was funny. And then she runs off, and then she like hears something, she kind of goes to check it out, and she's like looking around, and then the tall man scoops her up and books it, and I was like, what? So he scoops her up and runs, and then puts her in a car, and she's kind of like scared in the back seat, and he like opens up the front seat, tells her to get in, because it's like this little compartment, like cubby for her. So she gets in there, and he drives off, and then she's in her room, like putting on her makeup, just, and then this lady comes, and the guy passes her off to the new lady, and she like offers money. He's like, no. He's like, I don't want money. He's like, us accepting money is like putting her name in vain, because she went to jail for this. He's like, we won't accept your money. He's like, this is not why we do this. And gives her her new identity, new passport, all that stuff. And then the little girl starts talking, and she's like, I loved my first mom, and she loved me. She was hardworking, this and that. She's like, and then I was only with my second mom for a short period of time, talking about Jessica Biel's character. She's like, and she loved me, and she took me away. And she's like, and now my third mom, she's like, I love her and she loves me and she's teaching me all this stuff. Like, talking about how one of them had to sacrifice staying behind because the guy is her husband. So he would take them, give them new homes, better lives, and they knew once someone figured it out, like when the lady figured out they had her son, they had to sacrifice, and one of them had to stay behind and take the blame and say they were dead and stuff like that. It was like, mind blown. That's all I can say. Like, that is the most amazing thing anyone could do. Like, they gave them a better life. Like, yeah, they kidnapped them and everything, but they gave them better life. Like, they weren't selling these kids for money, nothing. Like, they just, here you go, here's a better life. And I don't know, like the lady, when she said something to him after she took the little girl, she's like, so there's more of you? Like, this happens all over? And he just kept walking. And it's just like, so many operations going on at the same time where they're doing this. It's like, you watch movies where they kidnap kids and use them for prostitution, or they kidnap kids and kill them, or they kidnap kids and sell them for like whatever, right? You never see them kidnap kids to put them in a better life. And to me, that was just amazing. And like, as bad as it sounds, I kind of hope there's some kind of thing like that out there where you're gonna kidnap kids and put them in a better life when they have abusive families. Like, there's the whole, you know, foster care and everything like that, and like so many, you see all these movies where these kids don't do well in foster care and they, like, I don't know, they just don't do well, or they bounce around from family to family. But these people are taking them directly out of the problem and putting them in a good place, and that just amazes me. And I think that is the most decent thing to do. Like, yeah, they're losing their children, but if they really love their children, like, I know they think they're dead, but if they love their children, they'd want the best for them, right? And that turns out to be the best, and like, they end up being in a family that can provide for them and take care of them and give them everything they need. And it's just, I just kind of hope something like that exists. And as you can judge me as much as you want, but I definitely think that is the most amazing thing ever. But yeah, so that is Tall Man for you guys, or The Tall Man, sorry, and I definitely suggest you go watch it. Yeah, I'd go watch it, definitely. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!